The world keeps moving, and so is my life. I was out diving and met people from Arizona, a family of 5. The man used to work a peak per week before KPMG, accounting firm. He's now doing real estate development in various states and shared with me his sense of what's going on from his point of view. He says influence of AI is felt everywhere. In companies, middle management will be less and less in such fields like human resource, accounting, operation, or legal issues, lawyers, not the top management, not the shop floor as much, but the middle management. It's visible, accelerating. That's what he told me. I believe it. So, this is what I think. When I was working for 40 years or so, I was trying to help the organization to have the gap between the top and the shop floor to be closer by having people empowered in what they do with an idea like a mini company so that they manage whatever they can at the area that they're responsible in the top, middle, and the shop floor and different department. Essentially what it does is kind of like a flattened organization from top to the bottom and more empowered. Therefore the middle management is kind of squeezed out because their administrative job, passing the numbers up and down, right and left, I call it post office operations, may be done by the people having ownership to run their own company. Instead of people treated like at the top says, do as I say, and the shop floor people says, just tell me what to do. So there's a huge change in the transformation of the company. I worked with a bunch of companies around the world, but only for me, as a catalyst to change, my effort was limited. But my books were helpful and people are resonating to the idea, even now. I thought the book would sell 30 years or more, and it's been selling. But now, because of the AI, the same situation, the gap from the top to the bottom is again expanding. And instead of top management telling what to do, AI is taking those responsibility, more or less. But the symptom is the same. There's a gap from the top to the shop floor get widened. Historically speaking, and you can tell by the money they earn, and the money is power, and that's how things are happening. So what I have done, I feel need to be done again in this new world, AI driven top-down approach. Again, the middle management will be squeezed, but also at the shop floor as well. So what do we do? I feel kind of sad. What did I do to help the people in the organization to transform? They have to go through the same process. And this guy was having a smile. He's not anything negative about, how can I say, in the way he expressed things. He just feels that's what it is. So he's like a third person view of what's going on. And me listening to that, and I just wondered, what did I do in my life? And still the gap is wider, and the people's ownership, running their own mini company, having the destiny, is still far. So the bottom line of this, in my view, it's gonna happen. It's happening. And everyone is to redefine the way they work, find the destiny. Maybe use the idea of mini company in a way that you need to be entrepreneurial to see what you really like and help the society. To say it simple, that's what it is. In reality, it's lots of soul searching. If I'm one of them, what do I do? Which way to go? So if I reflect my life, it was a continuous process of finding the destiny, and I could, in a way, found it in what I like to do and made my living. I don't know if my case is a good example, but I can share with you that I was an engineer. I was involved in Fukushima, even the safety analysis of the Fukushima and other nuclear power plant in Japan. I worked with GE, but also with Toshiba, where I was hired. I was in California, spent time working together with GE as well. And then I thought, well, my skill of engineering is limited to other people who got lots of skill, so what do I do? So I decided to go to business school. I went to Stanford, lucky enough to join, to learn what can be done. I thought about going back to Japan, but when I went back to Japan, there's not much in their system to explore my future, and then I decided to move back to the US. By that time I spent 5 years in the States, and this time I was like parachuting into the desert with this idea of empowerment, lean production, but not just production, but lean value added process, Toyota production system, and this idea of the mini company. Empowerment, continuous improvement, also transparency management practices. I call it glass ball management. So that idea was very powerful, may take time, but many companies got the benefit. And I did my books and videos, seminars and consulting, and even private equity related work. So that was that time. Now, similar situation is happening. Whole world is shifting, maybe much faster space or speed. Lots of scientific discoveries related to AI. So more brain, I call it extension of brain, is supplied by AI. There's still limitation, and I have posted some of the videos that AI need to improve. Except if it improves more of the gap will be created. So it's like a catch-22, what do I do? Still, the idea, I believe, is for each to find what they really like and pursue the dream, utilizing whatever you can. So the concept of the mini company applies, and the concept of trying to close the gap between the top management and shop floor applies. And that may have more people falling out of the system, but still they have to define their own mini company. where to work. Like I moved from engineering to business and consulting. Each person may have to change the nature of the work over time. So listen to your heart, use your brain, and live with the mission. That's the third book after the mini company, but mini company is also the essence of that, with the idea of the Kegon Buddhist view of the fact that everything is connected to each other, interpenetration. So, big challenge is waiting, and it's already hitting to people. But talking to this guy from Arizona, it was interesting to feel his optimistic view. He has figured out, and he planned to come spend time, half of the time in Hawaii and half of the time in the mainland, some such thing. But it's just him. What about other people? I have this idea. Maybe I cannot explain quite clearly, but I try. The mini company idea and glass ball management and the Kegon is all about the organization, but the same idea applies to our own individual being. Mini me, mini me, and me, and the brain and the heart, connection, transparency, enlightenment, awakening, find the destiny, do what you really like, and help the society. That principle applies even more so, especially in this current and future situation that I see. No pain, no gain. Like I have gone through different phases of life to find what to be done. So after those 3 books, Lean and Waste Elimination and Mini Company Glass Ball Management and Listening to the Heart, even with the Dalai Lama's forward for my book, that idea applies to my own awakening and utilize all I've got in whatever we like to do. It's for each to find the destiny, and don't depend on something. And if you depend, you are caught up in that situation. Not everybody may be that entrepreneurial, but I suggest to listen to your heart. I see people, I don't know if this is a good example, people living in the big backpackers and moving different countries, exploring this and that, get some visa to work for a holiday, and do surfing. That's one way to do it. And I had a discussion with Josh, who is living off the grid. But if you listen to his talk, maybe you can find by searching Josh, his story, to me it's inspiring with his spirit, exploration, having fun, and helping others. So let's go beyond the paradigm of the work life, but go beyond. Find your destiny, making the most of what you've got. Listen to your heart. No pain, no gain. Break through and go forward. That's my suggestion for the new, unknown future for your life and for others, to help each other. I wish you the best for your journey. If there's a will, There's a way. May all beings be happy, and good luck.